A new report from Politico this week suggests that Mark Meadows, and of course many of the other indicted co-conspirators in Georgia, are not only planning on flipping on Donald Trump, but there may be ample evidence already to suggest that they have already flipped on Donald Trump. Specifically, Politico points out the fact that during his testimony under oath last week, where Meadows was trying to get his case moved from state court to federal court, Meadows did in fact say that he did the things he did because Donald Trump, the President of the United States, ordered him to do so. And of course, the report states that other indicted co-conspirators, specifically Kenneth Chesebro, possibly Sidney Powell, are planning on going into court long before Trump gets his chance so that they can throw him under the bus before he can do that to them. Now, none of that is new. What is new is part of the transcript of the back and forth during that day when Meadows was in court last week that really has been glossed over. And it's probably the most important piece of testimony that we have heard from anybody in any of these Trump indictments. And the thing I love about it is I literally brought this up as a possibility last week and said that if they go and make this argument, then they've got Trump basically, by the neck. And Meadows made it. Here's what happened. Meadows said, and I'm going to leave out a lot of context because the context isn't important, but Meadows goes, "What I didn't want to happen was for the campaign to prevail in court action and not have this." Talking about the slates of electors. And then the prosecutor, Anna Cross, asked him, "Why?" Here's what Meadows responded with. "Because I knew I'd be yelled at by the President of the United States." Boom. There it is. The coercion, the fear. Meadows is telling the court under oath that he did what he did, right? He helped organize with the states, the fake slates of electors, because he was afraid of how Donald Trump would react if he didn't have them. Now, as I pointed out last week, Donald Trump, of course, at this time was the President of the United States, the most powerful person on the planet, arguably. So when the most powerful person on the planet tells you to do something, and you are so afraid of how they're going to react if you do not do it, that's coercion, right? You cannot escape that. Somebody in a position of power above you orders you to do something. There is that implied threat that if you do not do this, bad things will happen to you. Maybe it's, I yell at you. Maybe it's, I get on Twitter and make fun of you. Maybe I fire you. Maybe I try to find some stupid reason to have you arrested. Who knows what the threat could have been? But Meadows has now made the argument in court under oath that he feared Donald Trump's reaction if he didn't do it. If these other co-conspirators, I don't care if they're the lawyers, I don't care if they're just the average everyday people, if they all go into court and make these same claims, that is effectively game over for Donald Trump at that point. Ring of Fire has fresh content 7 days a week, so if you want to be reminded about it, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell to be notified every time a new video goes up.